here we go again. So, what are we gonna do this time? Welcome everybody for watching the VOD of this. Yesterday I streamed, no, 2 days ago I streamed some Terra Labyrinth development, which is a game Andrew and I, the Retro Dragon and I, are making with Godot. And we started developing this about a year ago now, but we've spent most of this year not working on it, and now I'm trying to rewrite it and get back into the groove. And since we didn't really do any updates outside of Twitter the first time around, decided to stream as much of the process as possible. Hello Ben Stanley, how you doing? But yes, so the last thing we got done was we implemented some of the enemies that were in the old version, and there's a couple things we could do this time, but what I'd really like to do right now is re-implement some of the graphical stuff. We're not going to worry about lighting at the moment. We're just going to worry about... Actually, first thing we're going to do is figure out why enemies that are spawned off-screen aren't working. So, let's see what the issue is here. That was, I don't think that was an issue yesterday. Yeah, that guy's not moving. But will he move if he's in the starting room? Yes. It's odd. Oh, another thing I'd like to do for this stream is re-implement sliding and wall jumps. But first, let's see why enemies won't spawn. Will this guy, or won't move off screen? This guy gonna move off screen? No. So enemies that are spawned off screen are currently broken. I think it's just this, honestly. Yeah, okay, that was easy. Forgot how I was handling off-screen enemies earlier, but... I'm busy. No. I'm busy. No, she's not. Okay, so... Where was I? So let's do some graphic stuff. So the way the other game looks, it's like this. Now this is pretty sick. A lot better looking than what we currently have. So it's gonna look more like this for now. I'm not gonna worry about lighting at the moment. but this would be a start. This would be a decent start. So, easiest thing I think is going to be the fog, which is just well, I'm not going to change the fog at all, so that I'm just going to copy over. There's fog. Okay, I guess I keep fog in the areas folder. Nice thing about being able to rewrite this is I can move all the shit that I put in bad places the first time around elsewhere. Also, I think it's using one of these, whichever one of these is white, yeah. Okay, so here's fog. Now we could just stick fog into here, and we have that little overlay. Now, did I have it go in front of the blocks here? Honestly, can't tell with the lighting. Okay, so no, the fog is just in the background. Cool. Oops. So yeah, that's how this looked. The other one, we also need black background. Cool. And now we gotta put that parallax background back in. So that's gonna be in areas, ruins. Let's borrow these. Music, gonna need music. Okay. So this already has the fog in it, so we could remove that fog and then just stick background in here. See if this works. Okay. So now we got background. Already looking much better. Sweet, okay. So we're not going to touch lighting for now. This is just how the game's going to look for the time being, until I get sick of it and I want to re-add lighting. But lighting's a little too much work right now. So, let me know if the audio is too loud. Music's not really necessary for the stream, so I'm gonna try to keep it to a minimum. Okay, so what's next? A big thing I have to do is make the things placer. And what I mean by that is the way I had a tile set with all the interactable objects in the old version, and I just gotta remake that for here. So let's do that. We're not sure exactly how we're going to handle our level design, if we're just going to do it on Godot or use a third-party app. But for now, this will help with prototyping. So basically we're just going to add in sprites for every enemy and go from there. Wisp. If anyone has any questions or anything, let me know. Questions or suggestions. New to Godot. You can make your character interact with objects without that object having an Area 2D node. Generally speaking, Area 2D nodes are super versatile, and I use them if anything where they're overlapping, I use them. But instead of an Area 2D node, you can also use raycasts or stuff. Raycast could get the object that it's colliding with, just like Area 2Ds can. But like all of my enemies, for instance, have multiple Area 2D nodes for specific things. Player has one for the hitbox, handling if it's overlapping room is the camera handler. Oh, it looks like I did this smart the first time, so let me copy that. So I'm gonna rename all of these with enemy underscore, and then that will be how it knows what tile is what when we have more than just enemies. Also, they also have to be named the same thing as they're called in the directory, so that should be good. So this does not have to be a tool script. Do not need this. Okay. And when the Owl Knight moves his shield to protect his head, are you moving the shield's hitbox too? Yep. Like, here's the, right. The shield hitbox is not exactly on the shield, but this guy right here, this long piece, you can see the rotation degree changes there. I'm just moving stuff around here. This guy in the middle is the shield hitbox. It's not directly over the shield, but it felt better to play. Okay. So this should work now. Yeah, you can animate pretty much everything. I'm saying pretty much, but really I mean you could animate any property in any node. Like, animation players are super useful. Hey Andrew, I just started. Not a whole lot of people here right now. Alright, so now we got a way to place enemies down easily. Ooh, that's big. That's not right. 4 AM, why are you watching me? I'll try streaming at different times. This has just been the most... Well, I wanted to stream earlier today, but my internet's been out all day, and then it just magically turned on in the last hour. So I'm making use of this time. Tomorrow I'm going out of town for a day, and then I have school all week next week. But I'll probably find a time to stream after school, but before 4 AM. Well, after school is going to be like midnight for you, so I don't know. But Andrew, check it out. I put the background back. So what is this? What is glitching out here? Class variable is declared but never used? I don't care. I'll debug that later. What is still getting caught here? Animation not found idle. So rough. Okay. I'm telling him to be idle here, but he doesn't have an idle animation. This is something that probably carried over from the old Terra Labyrinth, and I just never bothered to fix it. Yeah, okay. He doesn't have an idle animation. He just uses his walk animation all the time. These Owl Knights have to be nerfed. They need their attacks to be a little more telegraphed. What's wrong with the patch? Oh. I see. Hello, Potato Winter. Oh, something we have to add eventually is letting us destroy those wasp nests. Because these things suck in big rooms. It'd be cool if like the Trailblazer item would climb up a wall and then destroy the wasp nest. Maybe you have to use fire to destroy them. But we don't even have the Trailblazer weapon in here yet. Ooh, yeah, they could break open and have weapons in it. We're not adding a fire bow because we got our generic fire item is gonna be this thing. It's got the cleverest name in existence, Trailblazer. Can you guess why? Are you using tiles for your enemy placement? Yep, that was the last thing I implemented in this game. Like, did that 5 minutes ago, probably right before you came. So, those were the 2 necessary things that I wanted to do some point at this stream, but they ended up being pretty quick. How did you use tiles for enemies? Basically, you make a tile for every single enemy, and then you have a script where at the beginning of the script, it goes through all the tiles, checks what the tile's name is, then spawns in a tile at that, at the location, spawns in the actual node that the tile is representing at the position of the tile, which is right there, and then it deletes itself. I did make a video on how to do that in my Zelda series, but it's a little out of date, so maybe I'll make another video on how to do that later. But it's very useful, because placing nodes manually in the editor is pretty annoying. Right. Well, this guy, he does get stuck on the wall. That needs to get fixed. Oops. All guard. I just need to stick is on edge. Like, right here. That's just a function that returns true if they're touching the edge, but also at the same time running this function keeps them from going off the edge. I should probably separate those, but it works for me. Now he works fine. Owl Knight probably needs that too, but Owl Knight always tracks the player, so he should never get stuck. So another thing that would be nice right now to add is ooh, some UI would be nice, but I was thinking what was I thinking? Oh, the slide and the wall jump. So this is the slide and the wall jump in the other game. Everyone loves this slide animation in this game. You could slide, and then if you jump out of the slide, you retain a little speed boost that you get during the slide. And the wall jump, it's just a regular wall jump. Now, I'm just gonna add these in because features that we had in the old game that we need to add back to this game. But these are probably gonna be later in the game items. I think the first item we're gonna have for the first dungeon is gonna be the Trailblazer. This game's gonna have a pretty Zelda-y like structure where you get some quests to go into a dungeon and you have to figure out how to get into the dungeon. Then you go into the dungeon and then you get an item that lets you go somewhere else too. Do you have any destructible scenery? We're gonna have more destructible scenery, but the only real destructible scenery we have here is just these vines. But I guess it's not really scenery, that's just, it's a gameplay mechanic. But yeah, we'd like to have like cuttable vines or pots and stuff like that. Something we discussed a while ago, but haven't gotten to. Ooh, adding this guy back in would be nice. Alright, but let's do the slide first. Oh, not here. We did quite a bit. Fire spreading would be a cool tutorial. Maybe. How did I do that in the first place? So the fire. I don't even know how I did this. The fire node themselves looks like it's just. Oh, it's not playing. I'm pretty sure it's just areas that the way it's currently implemented is not optimized at all. Like if you add a bunch of those vines into a room, it's it breaks. But yeah, oh my god. These thorns have way too many things. Christ. Yeah, I don't know. It's basically just, if it's overlapping something else that could burn, then burn it. I'm gonna re-implement that better later. So, sliding. First things first, let's just copy what's here and see if it works. I know that loop input is now called update input. Loop damage is now called damage loop, I think. Damage logic. Jump is no longer a thing. How did I do jumping? Jump should be a thing. Speed multiplier. Slide boost was 1.5. And then we need to make speed multiply actually do something, which is probably going to be this. Yeah, and then state default needs some stuff. What's the best way to achieve wall slide? We'll see how I did it in a few minutes. But Waluigi's right, there is never a best way to achieve anything. Honestly, just get something that works that's not breaking other things and use that. Don't worry about I'd say just the way I did it here was, where is it? If you're on the wall and you're not on the floor, just set your velocity to something else. On wall too tricky? What do you mean by that? I use this on wall. I use this on wall and then just set your velocity to be slower. Is on wall and not on floor, and you're also moving down so that you don't immediately start going slowly the second that you go. So I need crouch. When do I set speed multiplier back to normal? Okay, looks like I just put that in there. HP logic. That needs to be somewhere else. Now we need to let the player slide, which will be in crouch. We don't have items implemented yet. Alright, let's see if this works. Nope. Get current animation length on null instance. Oh. Definitely use state machines. I'd say pretty much any really any game with action. Really any game needs a state machine. Alright, sliding's in. Looks like it works pretty well. The old version of this game did not have smooth walking with acceleration and deceleration. As you could see here, if I'm just tapping, he instantly stops. But it looks like sliding ended up working with it. I avoided state machines for so long because initial setup is kind of annoying, but long term it makes... I don't even think initial setup is annoying. I think it makes everything make more sense. You just separate things into states, different functions for every state, and then switch state based off of that string. Yeah, Game Endeavor makes some good videos. I know he did one on state machines. Still have to watch it. My experience with Game Endeavor is I do something and then he touches it and then he makes it a lot more featured and better. So we got sliding now. Now let's think about doing wall sliding. Wall sliding and wall jumping, which I'm gonna put down here. So I just did if is on wall, and I'm not using with snap. I do need to redo a lot of this to make sure it works with slopes. That is probably gonna be a little annoying. Maybe I should think about doing that today before I start adding a lot more stuff to the player physics. Because currently the player just slides down slopes, so I do need to use wood snap. I got it working. I had it working on another game Andrew and I were working on. We were making this lava run game. We were only working on it for like a week, and then my computer broke. So I lost those files. Okay, I do not have wall speed. What was my wall speed here? 50. Okay, well we're not calling wall slide logic anywhere. That's gotta be in state default. Should I make a slope sprite so it actually looks like he's standing on a slope? Like with 1 foot in the air? Or 1 foot upwards? That, well Well, if you do that, then that's a slippery slope, haha, in that we'd have to do it with the sword animations, we'd have to do it with the throwing animations, we'd have to do it with extra stuff too. Alright, there's that. We also have to add this to our animation logic. If is on wall. Nice. Now, wall jumps. Let's see if we can just copy and paste this. Move direction and velocity. Yeah, this is always gonna break. Oh, we still need state wall jump. Which looks simple enough. This needs to be update input. I don't think we have item logic yet. Oh, looks like I have it in sword logic for now. And this. And then add this to our state machine. Or wall jump. Alright, let's see if this works. Is playing on no. Oh, always forget to do this. And the jump didn't work. Let's delete some of these guys and then also turn off the music because I don't need to hear it every second. So what's wrong? This might. So if I press to the right afterwards, it works. What I'm pretty sure this is the acceleration and deceleration acting up. So the slide worked perfectly, but wall jumps are a no-go. So let's move the player over here, because it'll be easier to test this. So what else do we have in here? Input, okay. I think we just have to set velocity.x to, well, we do set it to negative velocity.x. That helped a little bit. Okay, that's not it. I feel like my wall jump timer isn't working. Like here, if you wall jump off something, it forces you to move in that direction for a while, but it looks like here it's not forcing you. Because here had, here had a wall jump timer, I believe, which forces you to be in that wall jump for a little bit. If anim is not playing or is on floor, say equals default. So it's that the animation is cutting out too early for some reason. I'm not sure why that would happen, because the animation is the same length as last time. Like, I think if I make this speed of the animation shorter... No, that's not it either. Why in wall slide logic is he decelerating? Did I put HP logic? H-speed logic is in default, which means nothing here is changing outside of the default state, meaning velocity.x should not be changing. But does that also mean... No, it does not also mean. I'm not sure. Does the ease that you added affect it? Yeah, it's definitely something with that. Godot crashes for me when I try to use move to in order to organize my folders and files and folders. Do you guys have a similar issue? I don't use move to, but there it just worked for me. I usually drag things from one place to another. Alright, I mean, this is just making it faster. And he's also not turning around. Because in this one, when you wall jump, he turns around immediately. And you could see, look, you could see like a full animation play out here. You see that? You could see him like kicking off and doing that for a second. Here it's just going instantly to jump. So now I'm not sure if it has to do with the acceleration and deceleration. Now I think something else is forcing it to go back to its default state for some reason. But we set the state to wall jump, which means it'll go straight to a state wall jump. There's no other states that I'm missing here, right? And I added in the wall jump state, right? Wall jump is happening. He switches to the wall jump animation. Wait. That was it. That was it. I removed an exclamation for some reason earlier. You don't separate wall cling and wall jump? No. The default state can hold that. I didn't need multiple extra things. Because otherwise I'd have a wall cling state that looks mostly the same as the default state, except with just a little bit extra stuff, which would have been a little annoying. But anyway, figured it out. I was just dumb. Still not turning around. So huh? Can you not do that? That's it, but something about it isn't feeling 100% right for some reason. No, I think that's it. Alright. And we got our movement back. Oh, there's a cool speedrunning strat for y'all. If you, so the... Oop, that was a glitch right there I saw. Speedrunning strat. Slide boosting, or sliding gives you a speed boost, a 1.5 times speed boost. But if you keep jumping, the second you hit the ground, you can retain that speed. I think I did it earlier. It's really hard to do though. And I don't know exactly what causes it, so I didn't fix it. But it's neat, so. See, there, that was. Hold on. Let me make a longer room. Sounded. Try this. Oh, didn't need to move that. Alright. Why is there still a wall there? Because I forgot to remove it. There, I did it for a second there. Whatever. Who cares? Alright. So we got the movement options back in. We got some of the graphics back in, but we're not doing lighting right now. Also, speedrunning tactic that is actually going to be patched out. So, also bug. If you hit your sword after wall jumping, it cancels the wait time, and you could single wall jump. I don't know if I like that. That's something we'll have to design levels around. That was in the jam version too. But, gotta say, physics for this game, especially not that there's acceleration, deceleration, it's feeling a lot better. Not to say that I didn't feel good before, but people are, oop. There's a glitch right there that some of y'all might have seen. He crouched into the air, which is a no-no. Let's see if there's a way we could force that to not happen again. End state crouch. If not, input down, or not is on floor. Yeah, very nice to see this stuff working. All right, because if we didn't have that there, then it would let you. Oh, so that didn't actually change anything. Because what? I don't know. But that should prevent a glitch somewhere. One thing I'd like to add is we'll need a sprite for this. But a sprite of, honestly, it could look pretty similar to this. It honestly probably look pretty identical to this, but I think we still need one. If you down slash into the ground for it to stop the player for a second, just to just so that people aren't down slashing everything, just add some balance it a little bit by adding some risk and reward, where if you miss your down slash, then you're open to an attack. And I'm also thinking maybe, because if you let go of the down slash, actually, no, we'll let him let go of the down slash. Maybe make it a little slower, because right now you could just let go and the sword gets put away. Or no, let's make it so the down slash stays. Like if you press down once, you'll be stuck into the down slash, but you could cancel the down slash by pressing the sword button. That's what I'm gonna go with. We're not gonna do that right now though. Man, this game feels good. I mean, we've been technically speaking, we've been working on the physics engine for a year. Still need to make slopes work better. Or at all. Right now he just slides down the slope. He can walk up slopes, but he can't stay down there. Someone was talking about adding wood snap. That'll do it. The slide should stop if he hits a wall, right? I don't want it to be instant. It's gonna have to be for now, because otherwise we need a separate animation for the ending of the wall slide, which I don't care about right now. I think we're gonna keep this. I like this. Just being able to climb up walls. I mean, it's pretty easy to do, but it's fun. We're just gonna have to design some stuff around it. I like games with movement options. I also want to make the timing for keeping your slide jump, I want to make it a little less demanding, because I'm pretty sure it has to be frame perfect if you want to keep it. See, that's what I'm talking about. Because you see how this is a regular jump, right? And this is a slide jump. It's significantly faster and goes further. But if you jump the frame that you land, you could retain that speed. So theoretically, someone could do one slide and then just continue to keep doing it. On the other hand, they could also just do another slide and jump. That makes the timing a little better. Yeah, that's probably makes more sense to do than the other way. So, okay, what else is a necessary thing we have to add for this game to work right now? UI. I'd like to work on the overworld, or making the overworld work soon. Oop. Okay, this cannot be in a global script. That's gonna have to be changed later. Oh, you did? Yeah, we have to we had to figure out a new way to share files with each other. Now maybe I'll add the Trailblazer? What does the Trailblazer entail? Oh, there's actually a lot of stuff. Yeesh. Why is there so much stuff in the Trailblazer? Oh damn, these are sick. Check out these new sprites, guys. Oh. Hold on. You don't need a camera. Okay. I'm gonna have to remake this tile map. Definitely gonna have to, yeah, totally redo this tile map. Let's just delete it. Hey Leah, you're ignoring my texts. These should be in atlases. What am I doing? Well, this is just a test. And castle could be one tile. Alright, I added these tiles probably the worst way I possibly could. Okay, yeah, everything you just saw just now is going to be redone. I just wanted to see how this looks. We're gonna have more tiles and stuff, but yeah, this is gonna be the general art for the world map. I think it's gonna look pretty nice. it's gonna be smoother. Like, certain things are gonna have more. Also, it's flickering. But yeah, imagine the player's in the center. The whole thing's gonna follow the player around. There'll be a huge world map. You'll be able to explore whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's gonna be cool. And then it's gonna be like Zelda 2, where once you walk onto one of these houses, then you'll be in the village. Or maybe we'll have like the village actually on the world map, and then the player would nah, once you walk onto one tile it's the village. Or we'll see. There's different options. And it's gonna be like Zelda 2 if you ever played Zelda 2. And other things that I'd like to have here is there's not gonna be any random encounters like Zelda 2. Because there's not gonna be leveling up, so we don't need it. But there are gonna be special world map entities, like maybe there's like a town here and a town here, or maybe a town here and a town way off screen, and then once in a while traveling merchant, Andrew says, once in a while you might see a cart that travels along the path there, and then if you walk onto the cart, then you could buy some items. Maybe next to a forest there's a boss outside that you have to do to complete a quest to get into a dungeon or something like that. Maybe there's ships that are sailing out that you can't interact with. Maybe later in the game you get your own ship, and then you could board other ships, or there's enemy ships that board you, or stuff like that. But a million different things we could do with this. We just want the world map to be a little dynamic, and not just you walk around and sometimes an enemy appears. Random encounters are bad. And all of the combat is like, there's not going to be any situation where you're walking around and then you get zapped into a different area. Anything that you have to actually go to, you would walk up to that area, and like you would walk into here, and then ooh, now I'm in this place. Like it's gonna be that kind of deal. Cause open world's nice, but making a huge open world, a huge 2D open world platformer kind of thing, it's a little rough, and I don't think we could design a whole Metroidvania. But we can design a world map and specific levels in that world map that you could walk to. That is easier. So maybe I could get started on making the world map work right now. Let me think. Because all it would be is on the world map, these tiles I'd put, so the player tile would just be using grid-based movement, and I already have grid movement right here. It'd be using this code, just regular 4-direction movement, right? I could put that into here, and then what would happen is the player would, once the player is on this, like walks onto one of these tiles, which would have its own nodes on top, there would be an entrance node. I'll have an entrance scene that I could put on all these tiles here. Then once the player overlaps them, it'll work. It'll send them to a new area. Like, it will send them to an area like this right here, and then the player could go explore that area, and the entire area would be loaded in, so I won't have to worry about combining multiple areas. But he'd walk in here, and then once he walks out to an exit thingy right here, it'll bring him back to the world map. And then maybe we could have multiple exits that'll bring him to different nodes on that world map. Because the world map, these scenes will have things that point to other areas, but we could also have in the areas things that point to different locations here. For instance, a cave that you walk on from this side of the mountain, and then you can reappear on the other side of the mountain. Does that sound like a plan? Another thing we could possibly do, this isn't like instead of the other thing, this is just another idea that I have. The world map, if we want to, Andrew, we could get real custom with it. Like, technically speaking, we don't need to make the world map as Godot tile maps. In fact, it might be more performant if we just have one large image and then draw collisions on it as needed, invisible collisions. Like, if we want to, we could design this whole world map using Tilesetter or Tiled or any other outside program that would be easier to work with. And specific points of interest, we could just, I'm saying we as if I could draw, but you could just draw straight onto the world map instead of making a new tile and fitting it in. That's another option. That's something we could do. Yeah, I want to work on, I want to get us Tilesetter. Once I, actually, here's a little, cool story, guys, today. Apparently my bank account is overdrafted $70 from an Amazon subscription that I don't even have. I don't have Amazon Prime. And I'm out $70, and I was freaking the frick out earlier. So, going to the bank tomorrow. Hopefully they'll reverse that, otherwise I'm a little fucked. But once that's settled, I'm gonna get us Tilesetter. Because apparently if we get the itch.io version, I forgot who told us yesterday, we could just both have a copy. Oh, Caleb said it. Yeah, like you could take the itch version and I could take the Steam version, or vice versa. So that'll be neat. What is auto tile gen for? Make 2D tiles for you in the second thing. I'm curious about this mixed, but let me see what this is first. I like the idea of doing the whole map, but we'd have to pre-build and draw out the map of the world. And I mean, we could always, cause I'm thinking we could use the tiles you already have to just sketch out the world using tiles, and then maybe we can make it look less tiley, even. Like we could just use the tiles, but then maybe like hand make the specific borders of the lake or something. Maybe that'll look better, or maybe it being tiles would fit the game better, since we're going for a retro setting. I don't know. Ooh, lots of big messages. Hold on. That's a nice idea. Maybe some dungeons have some secret passage to other special places in the overworld that normally can't be seen in only world. Yeah. It does similar, but offers some advice. Yeah, not great. Oh, you're referring to all tile gen. With multiple exits, could sometimes force them to go backwards through a dungeon, which changes based on upgrades you know they have. I really like the... I'm not sure if this is what you're saying, but I really would like the idea of a dungeon that's like in the middle of like 4 entranceways, and you have to go through the dungeon to get through different sections of that area. It'd be like Chrono Trigger Overworld. I need a refresher. Yeah. If you want to make it like Chrono Trigger, yeah, if you want to make it like this, so down. Yeah, and then instead of grid-based movement, we could have just like 8-direction movement. We're already more SNES graphics than what do you call it? NES graphics. Yeah, if you want to make it look like this. Aw, dude. Thank you, Wally. That's so nice of you. 10 euros, that's 12 bucks. That is Tile Setter. Thanks, man. Sweet. Oh, but now that you've said Chrono Trigger, now I'm... Oof. If our map could look like Chrono Trigger... I'm not saying this exact art style, but something like it. Honestly, by just like unsquaring it a little bit, it'll already be there. Like, I mean, our trees are also a little Chrono Triggery. Just with the fact that it's a little diagonal. So, if that makes any sense. Yeah, we can make a rad ass overworld. Yeah, let's think about that soon. We don't need to worry about making you don't have to worry about making a big, like, we don't need to plan out the whole world right now, but we can make, like, we were talking about making like a small island demo a couple months ago. We could still do that. I'd still really like to make a small demo for this game that's like maybe a little bit bigger than this screen for an overworld, with like a little island and then a couple areas you could interact with, but you have to get an item. Maybe you go to a town to figure out that you go to a town and then get a lantern from someone that lets you go into this cave over here. And once you go into the cave, you could find the key to the labyrinth, the Terra Labyrinth. By the way, this game's not going to be called Terra Labyrinth, or it might not be called Terra Labyrinth. We don't have any better name for it right now. But yeah, then you go into a cave and get a key for the ruins. Then you go to the ruins, and then it's a full Zelda dungeon. That would be a nice demo that we can make eventually. But there's still a lot to be done before we could do that. Like, a lot to be done. We still need... First of all, we still need to make the overworld system work at all. And now that we're thinking of making it smoother, now I'm thinking I'm not going to just stick in the grid-based movement, but I could just make a 8-direction movement, dude. That's easier than grid-based. And then I'll figure out how to put the... Yes? Streaming. With what? Right now?
Yeah,
I'm busy.
10 minutes.
I'm busy. Can we do it in 40 minutes?
No. Wait, please. I have to go. I wait to bring this up unless you want to do it all tomorrow by yourself.
I'm busy right now.
Please.
I'm busy right now. Ugh, they're gonna pull me out of this right now. If they pull me out of this right now, then I have to stop for tonight. Fuck. Anyway. What were we doing? No, I'm not gonna leave until they tell me I have to get up and go. But they like to wait until the last second at night where my brother decides he has to leave, where no one else's schedules matter. Okay. Anyway. What can we add right now? I'd like to add some of this overworld stuff right now. He does still need an overworld sprite, but for now, could do the good old pink box. No, I'm busy. In 40 minutes. I like how the character moves. Does it accelerate on a curve or anything fancy? How is jump implemented? Alright, so he does accelerate. He just... Oh, I did this wrong. Don't lerp like this. Don't just do times delta. You're supposed to do something else that I think I did here. You're supposed to do it like 1 minus the power of acceleration, or acceleration to the deltath power. Something like that. Don't lerp by something times delta. It doesn't work like that, is what I'm trying to say. Where did I do it correctly? I did it wrong here too. I even said I know it doesn't work like this. Hold on. Let me fix this right now before I forget again. Did I do it right in Stars Align? Oh, look at me. I did it right in Stars Align. As long as you understand why it's wrong, it's not that big to do it. Yeah, but I'd rather just do it right. So, okay. Does lerping like that handle variable frame rates? Well, you're supposed to multiply things by delta to handle variable frame rates, but lerp just doesn't work like that. Like, I don't know exactly why. There's some blog posts I read on it a while ago, but basically this makes it so it actually lerps correctly. It would be fun to have a boss knock you back at a fast speed like that. Maybe. Wait, where did this go? Here. So int lerp velocity x, new position. Does this look similar enough? So you need to make a way to handle acceleration at a fixed frame rate no matter what. Yeah, this should make it work no matter what. I don't know why this is happening right now. What did I do differently? Stars align. Yeah. Let me just copy all of this. It's pretty similar except for the speed multiplier. So flux is turning on, hold on. Maybe some logic after changes the character speed. I don't know what else would do that. What do my acceleration and deceleration variables look like here? Oh, they're tiny here. And here they're big. Alright, let me just copy these. Is he still moving though? I'm curious if he's like still accelerating backwards right now. Just infinitesimally slowly. Because right now it's working. It's working just fine. Now we have this pretty much the same physics as Stars Align has. Wall jump still works. For some reason, it's a little framey right now, the FPS, and I'm not sure why. Probably just because I'm streaming. Well, he's moving at the same speed. Oh, you mean after he was zipping around at the speed of light? Yeah, that would make sense. Okay, so Fire has a lot of processing involved. Oh, then I don't want to use it. I'll think about that later. There's some stuff that has to be optimized anyway, so I'll worry about that later. Let's do some overworld stuff for now. Where can I rip this out of? I just need controls loop. Just take all of this and I'll delete. No, I'm not going to take it. I could just write this from scratch. What am I doing? So if y'all haven't seen this before and want to know what I'm doing here, then let me know, but if you watch my streams, I do this same code for everything, and I've explained it a couple times already. Okay, let's see if this worked. First, I gotta fix my global script. I will take that out of a global script later. I'll just put that global script as the scene script where it actually belongs. Alright, moving a little slowly. Wrong. Alright, so the player is going to be able to walk around. Oh, this should be normalized. Is this how you do it? I don't know. Oops. What's the correct way to do this? There we go. Now we have to make more stuff happen. So we need to make area 2Ds that go over these, and if the player is over them, to send it to an area here, right? So I want to put those in a different folder, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. So first, let's fix this global script. I don't know who uses player position. Let's not even worry about it right now. Fix that when it's breaking. So gonna need a couple things here. First, let's make it so that the player gets put into these rooms. We're gonna have some stuff in these areas. Right, we're not gonna touch these actual areas right now, but we are going to have like entrance 1 would be something right here, and then exit 1 would be something right here, which would bring you to. I'll find a good way to ID this, and then they could be multiple entrances and exits per place. Maybe we'll get fancy with it and have the player maybe be put into different states when they're entered. So maybe there's a hole, and then once he enters, it would be like he'd be falling from the sky, then land, and then maybe a ladder next to it would be the exit. Stuff like that. We could be fancy with it, but that's not something we're gonna think about for at least a month or two. So right now, let's just make area 2D overworld entrance shape 2D put this in overworld. Now export string. Hold on. That would be here. So we'd have string file. What does that mean? Don't want it to be global. String file. Okay. So now we'll just we'll make this cave, this area that we're working on right now, by putting overworld entrance right there and making the area that. Wrong thing. So I'm walking around, and I go here, and it puts me in this area. Now what we need is to make it so I'm not going to worry about having multiple entrances and exits right now. Theoretically, it shouldn't be that hard to do. All I'm going to worry about is having one exit to put you back to where you're supposed to be. Well, it wouldn't be this. It would be an export vector 2. How am I going? Let's do. This could be in the global script. Oh, this is the wrong guy. Wait, there we go. So 104 plus like 8. Something like this. Didn't work. It's because I'm randomly using capital letters on some nodes and lowercase on other nodes because I can't stick with one naming convention. Oh my god. Alright, too close. There, so that's our overworld. Obviously, it's gonna be more polished. But yeah, we're gonna have transitions. We're gonna have it not be so you walk on and it immediately teleports you to another scene. But that's the start. Polish as you're mentioning him. So that's neat. Being here is really making me want to start a Zelda-like game again, but I need to finish this project first. Nah, dude. Follow your heart. Don't finish anything. I'm thirsty. I'll be right back. Alright. Let's see. This is pretty neat. I like this. This is our first real feature since starting the rewrite. So, y'all who are watching this got to see new content being pumped out for this, looking beautiful, or relatively beautiful. And then this is how it actually is. Why is my frame rate like 10 FPS right now? What was that? Okay, it got better. This game started off a jam, but jams are too stressful. Plus we get too attached to our games. C is yes. Guys, look at this background. Look at that parallax. Beautiful. Now imagine an outdoor area. You'd walk to this town, and then you'd see vast plains sprawling in the distance. Maybe that castle we see over there would be in the background. Andrew, not that I'm trying to feature creep too hard right now, but if we're hand designing the overworld, what if? Just what if? Because I know how much you like drawing. What if we have we make all the points of interest where it makes sense, like anything that's out in the open that we go to a 2D section with, we give the background some areas from that you could see on the world map. Like if there's a mountain over here and we're entering this cave, you can see the mountain in the back. Now we don't have to like hand make one for every location. We could have generic ones, and maybe just like prop something up in the background to be like, hey, yeah, that's there. But wouldn't that be kind of neat? I feel like that'd be pretty immersive. Definitely be more work, but get to draw a lot of cool pictures. Doable, yes. That's what I like to hear. Pretty easily, yes. Yeah, we just make like, I mean, we'd be reusing like the sky and maybe some foreground, like if we're doing like lots of parallax planes in the background, maybe like one layer would have an extra thing or would be replaced by some mountains. And really any point of interest that's in front of mountains will have the same mountains. So yeah, it'd be pretty easy. It'd be neat. Yeah, we could just make them like little puzzle pieces that we stick based off of what the current area is. Man, that would be so cool. Think of how cool that would be, guys. Because I'd like for this game to feel as grand as possible without us having to create a huge open world. Like, it'd be pretty much an open world. It's gonna be like a very closed off open world. But it'll be, it'd be like any RPG. Where you'd be limited to one section, then you do some stuff over here, then you get a key that lets you cross that bridge or something. For the next stream, I will try and have a player overworld sprite and maybe an island map. Sick. It doesn't. Nothing has to be like final versions, obviously. But yeah, something where we could just. Why is this breaking? I'm not clinging to walls correctly. It's you, isn't it? Alright, let's just put it back in the broken mode. No longer care. Is that what broke it? Let's just see. Yeah, that's what broke it. I'll figure that out later. Some stuff I don't want to do on stream. I know it's a little counterintuitive, but developing things on stream is fun. But my favorite thing to do on stream is just run ideas and see if people think they're good. And then try whatever things we can. Like right now I'm not sure what to add. Which is why I'm just brainstorming right now. And brainstorming is a very important part of the game dev process. So if you're here to see a game dev stream, well... I'm just so excited about this world map right now. Oh man, imagine. I just like how this works. I like how you could... Let's try it with another area. We still need to find the best way to design all these levels and make it work with the world map as easily as possible. Oh yeah, I could add in some items. True. 40, 42 plus 12. Okay, so we're in area 1. But then we could leave, go over here. Now we're in this totally separate area. Go in, kill some, get killed by some dudes. Oh my god, they stack. Oh god, no. These guys are a pain in the ass. They're gonna get changed. These wisp particles are still buggy. I gotta figure that out. That's a Godot bug though. Yeah, we could kill some stuff. Like, okay, I found all the items that I need here. And then we could just walk out, and here we are. What I think I'm gonna do instead of having to manually put all the coordinates in there is I'm going to set the coordinate of the tile plus 12 plus y of 12, and then have them be able to override it instead of just setting it. That's the new plan, but all of this is not important to change right now. Just nice to see that it works. And we can make it so that an area could have multiple. We can already make it so areas could have multiple exits, but we can't make them have multiple entrances yet. What I think all that'll involve is instead of just saying area, we'd also specify which area. Like we'd have area A, B, C, or D, which in here we'd have spawn points A, B, C, or D, which would be all the entrances of that place. That's how that's gonna work. Yeah, so this overworld's gonna work out just fine. What else can we do? Items. Yeah, let's add items. Start with that boomerang. God, the way I initially organized this is it's awful. It's disgusting. See you, Wally. Oh. Let me think. Actually, I think I'm gonna stop so I don't want to. Yeah, I did forget the GD, but I don't care. I'm gonna do this later. I'm tired. Plus, I gotta move boxes downstairs or whatever they're asking me to do. So, thank you all for watching. I want the next stream to be either Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. Basically, you're never gonna see me stream on a Tuesday or Thursday, but any other day of the week is free game. Maybe sometime I'll find specific days and schedule them, but expect one on either Monday or Wednesday. And join the Discord. I let everyone know if I'm going to stream the day of usually. So, also follow Andrew's new YouTube channel, which, don't leave yet, right here. Subscribe. He's gonna do art stuff. So, go subscribe. Hey, someone just subscribed. Can we get another? Maybe, please. Alright, well, think about it. Yeah, see? We're gonna have Terra Labyrinth streams all the time, all day, every single day. There's not gonna be a second of the day where we're not streaming Terra Labyrinth. So, hey, yeah, go subscribe. I'm gonna go hit end stream. I gotta go do stuff. Bye bye. See y'all.